I'd like to recharge my runes over that week.
Okay.
With the spells I had on them before.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Without a doubt. Alright. And then Manzorian, when you guys are kind of there, getting ready to go, I think, yeah, Razik looks like he's just fixing up some stuff. He did want to bring up some information. He said, you know, I didn't have a chance to really talk to you guys about the Ebon Triad, but you know, I definitely wanted to kind of talk about him at least a little bit, because I think we didn't talk about them the night before. You know, he says, I want to let you know it seems like they're involved, at least at some level, with a lot of the events associated with these prophecies. Their involvement probably merits some further investigation. I believe that they may in fact themselves be a little more than agents for a larger power, maybe even Caius himself. Certainly their goal is probably to unify Bane and Baal and Merkel into one overgod. Seems ridiculous, but as far as the Age of Worm prophecies about the tripartite spirit are concerned, it seems that the actual manifestation of an overgod is not what is being predicting as much as their beliefs of the cultists themselves. Myself and Elagos and Celeste and Agath are all going to kind of look into things while you guys are doing yours. We're going to search through the pages in the Mage Library here, trying to find an answer to some of these questions now that we've seen some of the artifacts you brought. And then whatever information you guys have when you return, maybe we can combine and get a little more insight on how to figure out what's going on with this dawn of a new age. And then he says, kind of points you over to the picture, and he says, "There's the picture. Go ahead and do your teleport if you need to. You probably need a greater teleport though, because I think it's about 1,800 miles away or so."
I'm seeing if I have anything that'll do that.
All right, sounds good. Agath, who was the guy that was kind of in the room that never really talked a whole lot. He was the librarian. Kind of looks over to Razik and sort of, you see him kind of put his hand over Carl's head and sort of pets, kind of tops the top of the head. And for the first minute, you kind of see this little smile come across his face, but otherwise he's been pretty stone-faced the whole time. Kind of whispers something over to Carl, and you know, nobody else can really seem to hear it. Yeah, Tanner, he appears not to be causing any ill will towards Carl, almost as if he's more affectionate towards you know, towards you know, the dinosaur versus he is to humans themselves.
I don't have any way to teleport.
Oh.
With town.
So Manzorian kind of looks over to you guys. He says, "Really? You guys have no way to get out there?" He goes, "Well, if I cast a greater teleport to get you out there, do you guys have a way to get back?"
We could probably wing it.
He kind of chuckles. He says, "Well," he says, "how about I do this? I'll teleport you guys out there, and I'll give you a scroll of greater teleportation." And he's like, "You do know how to cast some spells, right, Cormier?"
Yeah, like Frostbolt.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll give you the scroll. You'll have to use, you know, kind of use your arcane abilities, aka use magic device, to be able to cast and to get home. Otherwise, the closest city is Cauldron, which is about, I think, 100 miles through the jungle or something like that. So, just go north.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Yeah. So if you guys are all set, we'll go ahead and get you guys going. Everybody's ready. So he kind of asks you guys all to kind of get into a kind of a circle and sort of hold some hands, and he kind of starts to incant some various magical words and make some gestures and whatnot. And all of a sudden, you guys kind of notice that everything sort of oh, there you go, cool. Actually, kind of kind of notice everything kind of goes black, and then sort of this prismatic spray of colors, and the next thing you know, you're kind of in the middle of a jungle when you kind of come out, and a little disorientated. None of you guys have really had any sort of big teleportation like that in the past. So when you guys kind of get through you notice that the air is thick with heat and moisture, and there's kind of the normal jungle sounds that you hear. There's like chirping and cries of hunting predators and incessant whirl of insects that kind of create this big exotic song. As you look around, it appears that you've kind of been dropped just in the middle of the jungle. There's plants are all over your place, and but as you kind of look around your surroundings, you see just to the south there's about a 20-foot gap of undergrowth that looks out over an immense kind of bowl-shaped valley. In the valley itself, you see that there's a large ruined city. Most of the buildings are just crumbling foundations and overgrown with vines, and in small places there's some trees that are kind of growing through, and elsewhere there's some buildings, but it definitely looks abandoned. The streets aren't really able to be visualized very well, but you do see that there's an incredible kind of spectacle in the middle of the city, which kind of dominates its center. Your initial impression shows that there is no creatures or anything that's kind of around. That's sort of what you guys see. So here there's kind of this giant ring of black rock that circles the heart of the city. You can kind of see it there on your picture. And then within the ring rises the ancient stone ziggurat. There's two openings to the chambers, which beckon on the opposite side of its base. You can't really see them. They're both on kind of, if you're looking at that picture, you see the steps going all the way up to the top. The openings are sort of on the left and the right of that, so or the east and west or south. And then atop of the ziggurat is kind of an unbelievable sight. As you can see, there's a towering spire that's kind of like a stylized tree or cactus. Arms project from the sides, kind of mocking the defiance of gravity, either a feat of engineering or a product of powerful magic. At the apex of the spire is missing, however, so it's been kind of broken off. Whatever rested at the Forgotten Peak is kind of long gone at this point.
Can we estimate how high those walls are from here?
Yeah, so looking at the kind of the buildings that you can see around the area, you figured that wall is about 30 feet high, that black circle that kind of goes all the way around.
Do we see any openings, or is it like broken down in spots?
No, actually, amazingly, everything is kind of broken all around it, except for the black wall is completely intact all the way around and shows no sign of wear. And the ziggurat is kind of the same, except for the top of the spire, which is broken and appears to be missing something. I do have a map, just so that you're aware. You guys are going to look super tiny on the map because it's a big map. But it's going to be coming your way. So that's kind of what you see. So you guys are up in kind of the northwest sort of corner of that map. You guys see it there. And that black obsidian wall is kind of surrounding that the ziggurat. So you guys are there, right? And then you can kind of see the ruins that are all around it, and then you can see on there's two entrances sort of on each side of at the base of the ziggurat that you can see over the wall from where you guys are standing. But that's kind of the appearance that you see there.
I could give Windwalk to me and 3 other people. I don't know. What do you think, Nate? Should we Windwalk it in there?
We don't see any openings in the wall from here?
No, none from here at all, to be honest with you. It appears to be a perfectly, almost unnaturally smooth wall all the way around the entire thing, and no cracks or any sort of wear that you can see, at least from this distance.
Or do you guys want to use rope to go over it?
You guys want to get closer so you can see kind of what's there, or you guys are still up kind of outside the city, sort of looking downward, to be honest? Even though I have you on the map there, that's just kind of the general direction you'll be walking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I'm good with that. What do you think, Cormer?
I've got a 50-foot rope I could use if need be.
Okay, all right. I think somebody has a rope of climbing too, maybe Bose or somebody that also would be able to help.
How large is the gap?
What's that again?
How wide is the gap?
It looks to be pretty thin, maybe 5 or 10 feet. It looks like it's a wall that maybe was built to keep things out from getting in. So, you guys are heading in, right?
Yeah, start walking towards.
Okay. So as you guys kind of walk in, you see that the ruins of Kaluthmar, they kind of seem to sort of be sufficed with a strange taint, almost like a wave, a desert, where you sort of see kind of some stuff just kind of whiffling up and, almost like a mirage-like. And then, it seems like almost on the edges of your vision, you kind of get this oily stain that sort of spreads over a pool. And then a vision kind of wavers in the air where all of a sudden you can see sort of the city as it was. And within the tainted energy, you see a man is seated on a great throne made of great green stone right at the top of the ziggurat. He's kind of wearing an ornate plate armor and a black circlet that rests on his brow. Both the circlet and the armor are adorned with silver symbols and overlapping skull and scythe. As the vision expands, widening its scope to reveal that the throne is located on the apex of the ziggurat and a shadow of the spire. So this is almost like a dreamlike. The spire itself gleams and flashes with white light, and at its peak is balanced a 15-foot tall black stone monolith shaped like a trapezoid. So that's at the top of the ziggurat. Around the ziggurat spreads a thriving city. The streets are paved with white stone, and the buildings are painted in whole. Thousands of figures are gathered in the large open plaza that surrounds the ziggurat. All are facing the figure seated at the center. Their cries are a rhythmic chant surging like waves on a monolith shore. As these cries rise in volume, threatening to shake the jungle apart, the vision fades and is replaced by the ruined city that you see today. Can I have a perception check from you guys? So it was kind of like a dreamlike state, just so you're aware. Even though it felt like the dream lasted for several minutes, you guys noticed that really no time has really passed and no change in the sounds. So. Alright, I'm trying to get to Bose's stuff here. Hang on one second. This is perception. Excellent. So, Cormier, you didn't really perceive anything that seemed kind of out of order when that whole thing was ongoing. The rest of you guys, I had kind of sent you the message there that kind of said, and you can pass along to Cormier if you want to.
It appears the crowd was chanting Cayuse, so I'm guessing the leader has some ties with Cayuse.
This feels like an epic boss fight coming on.
So as you guys kind of continue through the town, you notice that there's no real life to be found within the ruins. You see that there's some areas where maybe there was some small vermin that maybe are here, maybe an occasional predator from the jungle kind of comes down, but no real signs of any other organized or human life kind of living in the area or using this as a home. As you guys get closer to this obsidian ring, you notice that it rings the entire ziggurat that you see. And as you get to it, it's just a wall of obsidian. And like I said, there are no marks on it except along the edge. There's this ring of ruins that kind of go across, and it seems to be very repetitive and repeats all the way around it. And the ruins actually glow, so they kind of have this sort of glowing thing that's there. And the ruins are pretty big. They're probably about 3 feet high or so. So you could definitely see them once you started getting about halfway through the city to tell what the ruins were there. And
Are we close enough to do a detect magic on it?
yeah, you sure can. Absolutely.
I'll do a detect magic on the obsidian.
Okay, sounds good. And then I'm going to put, for anybody that can read the language, I'm going to put what that says there. All right, so as you kind of cast a detect magic, the obsidian wall completely shows that it does have magical properties to it, and definitely gives a kind of a strong glow that comes off that you feel is most likely a transmutation.
I'm gonna try throwing a rock over the wall.
Okay, yeah, it sounds good. So you grab a rock and kind of throw it over the wall, and you see it kind of sails over quite easily. There's nothing that it bounces against. It doesn't get repelled back to you, and you can hear it kind of land on the ground over on the other side, sort of a.
Is there any living plants by us or anything like that?
Yeah, the ground is covered with grass. Grass kind of goes right up to the wall itself. And you know, there's some jungle trees that are there, and you can see kind of insects floating around, and in the air around it. You can see them kind of passing over the wall. Birds occasionally seem to fly kind of over the area.
What do you guys think?
Well, I definitely don't want to be the first over the wall.
Not you, huh?
But you got those bracers AC.
Emergency use only.
The other thing is you got. I guess you guys can lift Chingo over bows, but.
My airwalk lasts a long time, so.
Does it?
Yeah, it's like 12 hours or something like that.
Okay.
So I'll put airwalk on me, Chingo.
Okay.
Bose could probably ride Chingo, right?
Yeah, he can ride him. Yeah, that'll be fine.
And then Cormer and Nate. Do you want me to put airwalk on you or Carl?
Nate has airwalk too, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
You want me to put it on Carl then, or just put it on Bose too? Because I got one extra airwalk. It's like a group spell or something.
It's nice.
So how many do you have? I can handle the whoever. Yeah.
Alright, it's Windwalk. Sorry, I'll do Windwalk on.
Windwalker.
Yeah, I got Windwalk. Sorry, my bad.
Excuse me, guys.
Probably want it for the non-competence.
Non-combat? Okay. So I'll put Windwalk on Chingo. Do you want it on Carl then too, or no? Just Chingo, Cormer, and Bose? I'll put it on Chingo Cormorant bows.
All right, and that lasts for what, 10 hours, 11 hours?
1 hour per level, so 11 hours.
Nice. Man, oh man, you guys didn't need teleport. You could have just taken that. Goes 60 miles an hour. All right. Still would take a long time. All right, so go ahead and who did you put them on again? I'm sorry.
Myself, Chingo bows. I got it. I'll put it on them.
Oh, awesome, cool. I didn't know if you had an effect for it or not to put on there. Sweet. All right, so you guys are able to have Windwalk. So you guys are able to Windwalk, and then Razik, if you're going to do the Airwalk, then we'll do that. Still opens up the question who's going to go over first. Send Bose. Bose. That's the way it goes, right? You don't show up, that's what happens. So, all right, sounds good. So Bose kind of goes with Chingo and kind of airwalks kind of up on top of the over, kind of not on top of the ring, but just over the ring itself, and kind of yells back and says, "I feel fine, guys. Inside of the area looks clear."
I'll follow him and go over.
So, all right. So, Tanner, you go over and you feel this sort of kind of a uneasiness as you kind of pass over the wall. Kind of almost a deep like discomfort in the stomach and kind of a chill that kind of goes down your back as you kind of pass over the wall.
I'm expecting cayuse and worms here, guys.
And I'll go over next.
All right, so Cormier, you go over the wall. You don't feel really anything of any significance at all, to be honest. And then you guys, once you're over the wall, I assume you're gonna go back down to the ground. Or you guys just gonna keep flying?
We should probably go back down.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So as you go back down, you land on the earth, the dirt there. So, Razik, you coming over as well?
Yep.
Alrighty. So Razik, you and Carl both come over the wall. You guys don't feel anything either. You guys think that Tanner may be a little off his rocker, to be honest. So as you guys kind of land and you're on the ground, you notice that. The earth seems to be, sort of a normal earth. However, on this side, there's no grass or any sort of living items that you can see. You do see that, the dirt seems to be a little soft, kind of almost like a mossy type of dirt. It's definitely firm, but it feels kind of a soft, mossy type of dirt. But there's Carl. Sweet. All right. So let's see. Razik, as you kind of look down at the dirt, you see that the dirt occasionally seems to be kind of moving, or something's moving within it. Tiny little things are moving.
So it look like maggots.
So you kind of take a little bit closer, and you would say they would be maggots, but these are kind of more of a green type of almost worms, to be honest.
I'm staying far away from
Do
those.
they look natural or?
No, they don't look natural. And now that you guys look around, the entire ground surface is covered with these million little fine worms, and they're barely moving, almost as if they're not in stasis, but they're pretty close. And but they're definitely these little tiny green worms that are kind of just slowly moving kind of through the earth. They don't seem to be kind of crawling up your feet or anything like that, but there's definitely worms just all over the ground.
I'd like to try and capture one apiece in my I have I have potions of gentle repose.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and capture without touching them. One
Sure.
in each of
Give
my
me a reflex for each one.
reflex save.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. How many are you getting?
2. Well, 1 per bottle.
All right. Yeah. So you're able to pick up that worm, put it in the bottle without spilling the liquid or you touching the worm.
There's my other one.
And yep. So you're able to put one worm in each bottle.
Does it look like it's like this throughout the whole arena,
The
basically?
entire ground looks exactly like this. Now that you now know what you're looking for, the entire ground from all areas looks like it has these kind of slow little green worms just kind of either laying on the surface or kind of digging through the dirt.
Maybe we should go back into the air.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. This airwalk thing.
All right.
I could channel, but we'd be out here for a month.
All right, sounds good. So you guys are going to airwalk now. How high do you guys want to airwalk or windwalk?
I'm gonna do like 5 feet above the ground.
5 feet above? Okay. You guys want everybody? You want Bose and Chingo airwalking about 5 feet?
Yeah, sure.
All right, sounds good. So as you guys get closer, you do see that the ziggurat definitely has each level. You can kind of see where it's it's tiered. So each level is about 10 feet up. There is a stairway that kind of goes up the northern part, which is where you guys look at. It goes all the way up to the top level. There's a green circle there. I'm not sure why they put a green circle there, but there's about a 20 by 20 square kind of top of the building there that doesn't have a door. There's a throne that's sitting there, and then the ziggurat goes much higher with that piece that was missing up at the top. Goes up about 100 feet in the air. The temple does, and then the spire goes another 120 feet or so.
I wonder if we kill these worms, if it'll weaken anything inside. You know, it's like one of those kind of deals.
What do you guys think?
You're the guy with a channel, but I don't think you can get rid of all of these.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about I don't know, radius of 300 feet. So whatever that would work out to be. So as you guys are kind of contemplating that, since Bose isn't here, so Bose sees there's sort of a, he kind of tells you guys that he sees kind of a sort of a shimmer or a shimmering glimpse of something dark kind of at the peak of the spire. But otherwise, he doesn't notice anything else that seems unusual in the courtyard or on the ziggurat. Oh, no problem, man.
Yeah, I got 8 channels, and I can't remember. Does Fireball kill worms? Do you remember, Nate? I don't know if Fire did.
What was that?
Do you remember, does fire kill worms? I can't remember off the top of my head.
I don't remember them being particularly good.
Yeah. What do you want to do, Nate? Fly up to the top?
No, I think we should just check out the entrance, I think.
Okay. We'll start heading there, Greg.
So where are you guys heading now? Sorry. Where was that? You guys are going to the sides of it, or?
I think we're just going to check out the outbuildings and kind of work our way in.
Okay, gotcha. So as you guys kind of go around and kind of look at all these sort of ruins that are here, you don't really see anything that really has any substance or buildings per se that are enterable. You do notice that as you go completely around, there are definitely two entrances. There's one on the east side and there's one on the west side that you're able to visualize from here. And then you guys also do see at the top of the spire, there's that shimmer now that Bose has pointed it out. Other than the tiny little worms that are sort of all over the place on the ground, you don't really see anything else that appears to be of any real interest at all. The ziggurat is in fairly good shape. I mean, it has some crumbling of rocks. Does anybody have... No, I don't think you guys do. Nobody has... dungeoneering knowledge or engineering knowledge, do they?
Well, Bose does.
Does Bose? Okay, great. Let me just grab this real quick and see if I can roll for him. 1 second. Oh yeah, you're right. Hey, welcome back.
I have some engineering.
So Bose looks at this and he says, I don't know how old the ziggurat is, but it's definitely not of this this century or any elves of my age or even older that are there. If anybody else wants to try an engineering, they can, to see if they can figure out how long ago this was built. So Cormier, we're kind of the group decided just sort of to kind of walk around the ground or go around the grounds, looking to see if there was anything of interest. Yeah, Nate, you kind of can't really tell how old it is either for Razik. And so when they had looked around Cormier, they didn't really find anything on the outside. The buildings outside are all pretty much destroyed. There's two entrances to the east and the west, and that's kind of where we're at.
Hey, are we still we're still hovering in the air?
Yeah, you guys are 5 feet off the ground. And then there was Bose that saw a up at the top of the spire. There was a shimmering glimpse of something dark up at the top, but otherwise, what was it?
Now, the guys we saw, like the cultist-looking guys, were they in the vision, or do we actually see them?
No, they were actually in the vision itself.
Okay.
I'll when I do descriptions like that for visions, I'll kind of give you hopefully the same presentation in the beginning, so that way you know it's the beginning of the vision. In the end, I'll do something else. I'll try to make it clear.
Guess I'll head to the west entrance.
Okay, all right, gotcha. Yeah, I was zooming in right in there. Alrighty. So as you're kind of at the west entrance, you see that the entrance is about 10 to 15 feet wide, about 10 feet high. Definitely dark inside the entrance, and it seemed to open up into a room.
Where is this?
It's on the west entrance, where he's looking. You can kind of see him on the tiny little map there, where he's at.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you see these...
It's an open entrance.
Yes, it is, and you notice that the steps actually go down into the actual temple. So it's not like you're going level; it actually goes down inside, and the steps are about 20 feet. I'm sorry, not 15.
Is it the only?
There's a very similar entrance over on the east side as well.
What about the one in the north?
The north is a steps that go all the way up to the top of the ziggurat. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But it goes up to the top outside?
Correct, outside.
Oh yeah, if you guys wanted to check the upstairs outside first, I don't really mind.
Doesn't matter to me. What about you, Cormer? You got a preference?
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me either.
I'll roll it. 50 or less, we'll go down. 50 or up, we'll go up.
Alrighty. Going up. So as you guys kind of, sort of float up towards the area, you notice that what you thought was a throne kind of in the northern part of that actually is now kind of crumbled rubble, which may have been a chair of some sort. And then at the top of the spire, you definitely can tell that there's this small sort of little darkness right at the top. I mean, it's kind of like at the point where that black trapezoid was at, but on the vision, but the trapezoid's not there anymore. And it's definitely shimmering now that you can see that. Otherwise, you find nothing else of interest up here.
Now that we're closer, could I use Knowledge Arcane to take anything away from what it is?
Yeah, sure. You're not sure. Get rid of all those ones at the beginning. So the spire that you guys see that's there definitely is rough hewn. It doesn't look like it's smooth. You could definitely climb it. However, you guys are flying, so if you want to go up there, you could probably just fly up there.
I'll fly up closer and check it out.
All right, sounds good. So as you're flying up there, you get just about to almost 30 feet, and everybody kind of gets the same vision in their eyes again. So the strange dark stain in the air wavers and then grows solid. And the peak of the spire of the Long Shadows is restored. So it's back to having this 15-foot tall by 3-foot thick trapezoid-shaped pinnacle of black rock sitting on the top of this item. It's about 10 feet wide at the base and about 5 feet wide at the peak. The monolith of stone kind of shimmers and vibrates with waves of energy. And then something strange and horrible sort of writhes inside, which its nearly opaque interior. Suddenly, a brilliant red wall of scales fills the view, and there's a terrible sound of crumbling stone. In an instant, an enormous red dragon is winging away to the north. The Spires Peak is in ruins, and clutched in the dragon's talon is the monolith. The vision fades, and the dragon and its prize are gone. Go ahead and give me perception checks again, if you don't mind. Alrighty. And then you can either do a Knowledge Arcana if you want to. You can do a Knowledge Arcana and a Knowledge History. Let's see.
I'm helping out.
I see that. All right. So, Razik, you noticed when you were watching your image that the shapes that were writhing inside the monolith seemed to be made of worms. or kind of worms were actually arranged in kind of a shape of an enraged face. So if you can think of the worms were kind of crawling, and they sort of formed this face of that was kind of enraged on the side of the monolith. And then let me get Bose's Arcana here. See what he has, and then what was the other one I said? History, right? You guys mind doing a history? Hey, you guys don't have bardic knowledge, so history is what you would need to do as well. Bose tells you that the dragon that he saw there was an ancient red dragon who was none other than Dragotha herself. Just kind of a famous dragon that is felt maybe even to be dead at this point. She lived thousands of years ago. When you get close to the shimmering, you just see that it's just kind of this almost a small sort of illusion or a little bit of magic that may have been left from before, but nothing that's of material substance at all at the top.
Well, you guys want to go inside now?
Yeah, let's do it.